Look, there's no friendships in motorsports on the racetrack. Maybe off the racetrack, yes. And in particular, Lando Norris and Max Verstappen. Off the racetrack, those two are good friends. But after what happened at the Austrian Grand Prix on Sunday when the two of them came together, if this keeps up, there's not going to be a friendship between these two by the time we get to the end of this season. When we take a look at how drivers race each other through midfield, battling for points, battling for third places, and battling for wins, they're all quite different. Further you get up the grid towards first place, the more aggressive things get as well, and the more ruthlessness drivers are willing to put out there. In terms of Max Verstappen, on lap 55 at the Austrian Grand Prix, Lando Norris finally gets his chance to attack him, and Max is clearly moving in the braking zone. And this is where, obviously, it all starts. And there's a few things that needed to happen here. One of them in particular is the FIA getting involved immediately. Moving in the braking zone, that's a rule that was put in place that you couldn't do it because of Max Verstappen and the things that he used to do. So for the FIA, you need to quickly put that under investigation. You need to let the teams know that the drivers are under investigation at that moment, so it cools things down just a touch. For Lando Norris, need to be a little bit more aggressive, not give Max as much breadth in between both cars. Look, I know you have to leave us some space between the two of you, but tighten it up just a tiny bit, because by the time we get to lap 63, Lando's already had a few more attempts at this, but on lap 63, Lando gives Max quite a bit of space into turn 3, and this is my issue with this, where if you're Lando Norris, what I particularly would have done is set my own precedent, because Max has already done that by moving in the braking zone. You come out, you go wheel to wheel. Don't give him this amount of room. You just give him just a tiny bit of room. You go wheel to wheel with him and let him make the decision whether the two of you touch or not. He has a championship that he is leading at the moment and can also lose as well. Let's not forget that. The season is not over. So by you leaving your car there, you're making him make the decision on whether or not the two of you are going to have an incident. So you're setting your own precedent saying, I've had enough of you moving in the braking zone. Next time you do it, this is what's going to happen, and I'm going to make you pay for it. And essentially, we may not have gotten the two of them touching a little bit later on. The whole issue with this now, moving forward, between these two drivers is the fact that Max Verstappen needs to understand that McLaren is a legit competitor. They are just as quick, and Lando Norris isn't going anywhere, okay? He's going to be there for race wins. He's going to be battling and pushing your driver, Max Verstappen, for race wins. The thing that these two drivers need to do next, moving forward, before we get to Silverstone, is sit down and have a conversation on how the two of them want to race each other. Where is the line that you cannot cross? And the two of them need to define that line, have a long, drawn-out conversation, because if they don't, then I guarantee you, by the time we get to the end of this season, we get to Abu Dhabi, I doubt that these two are friends.